No. How was it?
He's just taking himself out from the dirt nap he took. He's gotta dig himself out. It's the Villains Talk Show.
What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous.
Wait, are we live?
With the
Since
Greasy
when?
Boy, the Viking, and C4.
Oop.
Shout out to our Patreons, Ruchala and For the Wheel. If you want to help support the show, just like listen, share it to people, all that stuff. Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Who are you people?
Who
I don't know.
we've lost track an age ago.
Almost an eon ago, probably.
Probably.
How's everyone's week?
Long.
Weird.
Hello, Ruchala in the chat. Your week was weird.
Yeah. I think it turns out that I'm like allergic to daylight savings time.
Fair.
Well, I mean, there. I don't want to say it's impossible. I just want to say like.
So on Monday, I got up and went to work, and I was super angry because it was an hour earlier than usual, right? Because daylight savings, which sucks. But I was sitting at work, and I just suddenly started feeling really sick, like I was going to throw up. And I ended up going home. And it lasted for a couple of hours, and then it went away, and I had a headache, but that was just a migraine from the weather changing. And I was super confused. So I stayed home Tuesday to make sure nothing would happen, and it didn't. I was fine. And then I went to work again today, and the same thing happened. I got super sick about an hour into the school day. I am pretty sure that what's making me sick is that my body it hates mornings as it is. And I always feel a little nasty, and like my stomach always hurts a little first thing in the morning. Just because, I don't know, it always has. But I think that getting up and eating an hour earlier than usual is actually making me sick.
I was gonna say, because that also sounds like there might be something like in the school.
No, it's not.
As far as you know.
I mean, yeah. No, it's just me. I've always, always, always felt sick in the morning.
Well, you should start doing a more Canadian breakfast like I do. Coffee.
Coffee does not help the problem of me feeling sick. It makes it worse.
Tea?
Coffee and cigarettes.
Cigarettes will literally kill me.
I wasn't gonna suggest that.
I am asthmatic. No, I don't know. I don't really like tea, but no, I usually just have a smoothie. Because it's awesome and easy, and I can eat it on the way.
Smoothies.
But I think I just need to, like, for the next couple weeks, eat after I get there.
I mean,
That's
that
fair.
might help.
Yeah, that's the hope. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess. We'll see if you come home early.
Yeah.
What about you, Greasy Boy? How's your fine week?
How long so far? I'm back to working full time for the most part, which is weird. After 6 months of not working full time.
That would be weird.
That is actually kind of weird. I know that feeling too, actually.
But I have a concert on Friday, so I'm not too worried about the rest of the week.
Who are you going to see?
Arrogant Worms.
Oh, you're going to that, eh?
Yeah.
How much were tickets?
I don't know. They were a Christmas present.
That's awesome. I'm actually jealous.
That sounds
And then I'm
fun.
seeing Blink in June.
I am. And I've seen the Arrogant Worms before, but they're always a fun concert.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen Blink, though, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Oh, you're going to?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be funny.
My cousin bought tickets, and person he was supposed to go with canceled on them.
Dude, we'll have to meet up at the concert. That's sick.
Probably, yeah.
Speaking of which, I never actually got to talk about going to Montreal a little, but Montreal was a lot of fun. Anyone out there who's ever been there, who's listened to the podcast, Montreal was a lot of fun. It was definitely a party city. I've never actually been to a party city, but man, that city does not sleep. It was a lot of fun. Lots to do.
Nice.
Other than that, I guess we should move on to today's topic.
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Always.
What's your favorite dinosaurs?
I don't know.
Damn you. Now I'm thinking about that.
Albertosaurus are pretty cool.
I like pterodactyls.
I've always
Yeah,
liked
we know.
Pelagiasaurus, I guess.
A plagiarismsaurus?
Plagiasaurus or Brontosaurus. I've always been like a Stegosaurus has always been one of my favorites.
No, that's true. Stegosaurus are pretty cool.
Yeah, they've always been kind of like my favorites, like spiky turtles with like ball and chain tails.
Mm.
That's an ankylosaurus.
Oh, there's so many.
Stegosaurus
but-
just have the fins
I'm
on the
actually
back.
thinking of Stegosaurus.
Okay, I like the one. Is Stegosaurus the one with the spikes on the back then?
More like fins.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Just
one
like
with
tails.
there's one with like a spike on the back of their tails.
Yeah, that's the ankylosaurus.
Those are my favorites. Ankylosaurus. Those things are cool.
Because they go for the ankles.
Those things are cool.
Fair. Always go for the ankles.
It's deadly tactic.
Aim low and you'll never miss.
It's a deadly tactic. No, today's actual topic is something
Birds?
courtesy of my sister, actually. It's more of a thought question. So I posed it earlier in the group chat, and yeah, we're gonna discuss it here today because I thought it was fun. So the question is, do I need to grab my phone or can I do this from my head? I think I can do this from the top of my head. The question is, if you were halfway through a book, or you're reading a book and realized halfway through, it is the book of your life, would you keep reading? Now, I got some clarification. If you're wondering, yes, there is only one timeline. Everything in this book will happen, and the end of the book is how you die. So you everything that's said.
Those are important clarifications.
Yeah. So in this book, you realize basically halfway through when you get to the point where it's you now. Like if you ever seen Spaceballs, the point where they're at the movie where they're at the now. Basically, you reach that point and realize if you keep reading, you will spoil everything in your life. There's no multiple realities. There's no nothing. You know, if you read on, you know what's gonna happen.
I feel an important question is, if you do keep reading forward and it is said, does it show you that, or show that you read it?
I'm gonna assume so, for the sake of argument. So
Wait, I didn't understand that. What? Does what show
So
that you
if
read it?
you read it, if you kept reading, does the book show that you read the book?
yeah, I'm guessing it would say like at this point they read this book and then it continues on, kind of thing.
But at the same time, if you don't read the book, how do you know if you read the book?
Well, that's the point, right? That would be the choice of not reading the book. You don't want to.
Here's my other question: is that how do you not realize until the point you're at in your life right now? I would recognize my entire life story if it was.
I think it's
written out in
supposed to
front of me.
just say at when you realize that it's the story of your life, would you finish the book?
Okay. So my answer to that is I think I would probably just completely and utterly lose my mind.
Okay. We'll get into that in a bit.
So what if the book doesn't say you lose your mind?
What would you do, Greasy Boy?
I feel like I'd read it for a little bit, just see the next couple of years at least, and then that's about it.
We'll get back to that. And well, because I've thought about this all day.
What about you?
And
I would probably flip ahead to the ending too.
I was gonna say I would skip ahead to the ending. So now that we've so let's go back.
I don't like surprises.
Let's go back to the Viking here. So you said you would go crazy. Explain.
Yeah. I do not handle stress like that well. Of like, do I read it? Don't I read it? What do I do? Like, I just don't handle that well at all. And so I would feel extremely stressed and just lose my mind before I could even decide if I should read it or not. I would try not to, and then I'd be like, I have to know. It wouldn't go well.
So in the end, you would read it, though?
I don't know. I feel like I would end up committed to a mental institution before I had the chance.
Then they never take it away from you? It's just always in your hand? But then
I do think I would probably read the ending, though. And then feel guilty, and then be like, I shouldn't read anymore! And then the whole losing my mind and spiraling out of control thing, you know?
I agree with you with reading the ending, but I have a different reason. But we'll get to me in a bit. I want to go into this. So
I already read the endings of books half the time before I get all the way through the book, anyways.
So Viking sitting there realizes the book of your life, starting going crazy, and then you're like, wait. And then you flip to the ending, and all it says is, you die. Of course! No,
yeah.
Obviously you read like what it goes on to, but would you go crazy? Is it just because of the book, or is it crazy because you don't like surprises? So wouldn't this be the best case scenario for you? It's a book of all the surprises that will ever happen.
Yes and no, because at the same time, then my whole... Do you ever feel like your whole life is an act? And like you're just following a script? Because that's exactly what you would end up feeling like in this case. Right? Because you already know everything that's happening and how you're supposed to react to everything. So the whole thing would just lose its realness.
That's actually a fair point, you know? It would lose its luster. I could feel that.
Mm-hmm. And you'd know, like, sure, you know all the good things that are coming, but you would also know all the crappy things that are coming. And you wouldn't be able to, like, avoid them. Or skip through them. Or anything. You'd know exactly how it plays out. And exactly what you have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Trade-off for knowing the future, I guess. But at the same time, yeah, no.
Because you know the good parts of the future, but you also know the bad parts of the future.
And
what if you read that book and you find out that your future just sucks?
I know, right? There's nothing you can do to stop it. You're like, oh, I died in a ditch. Oh, fuck.
But not for another 40 years, and all 40 of those years are gonna suck!
Oh, that's funny.
Right?
I didn't even consider
like,
that one.
well and good if I read that book and it turns out that I'm gonna be a bazillionaire and live in a giant castle.
But it's most likely just gonna be you live in a regular life in a small house, you accumulate tons of debt, you go on maybe 6 vacations and you die. Oh, exactly. Great. That's pretty good.
One thing I would read it for, if it was like, well, no, even that. Like, if it was detailed enough to tell what happened in our D&D campaign, I might read that bit.
Just to spoil that ending. Everything else, I can imagine you just going nuts and be like, wait. Oh my god, it is detailed.
Exactly.
So let's move south of the board. You said you wouldn't read it, right?
I said I would read at least a couple of years.
Yes, that's right. You'd read a couple years forward.
Yeah.
That seems a little. That seems pretty sensible. Look,
Just know what's coming up, and at least have some semblance of a plan for when it does happen, even if things can't be changed.
okay.
At least there's that knowledge ahead, or preemptive knowledge of what happens.
So what would you do then? Would you throw out the book, or because let's say
No,
it starts?
just leave it.
Yeah, you'd leave
Would
it,
you read
right?
a couple years, live those couple of years, and then read a couple more years?
Maybe.
So it would be like that'd be interesting. So you basically have a running you would read it essentially though.
Here and there.
Would there be a time where you would say fuck it, I'm just going to read to the end at this point?
Probably when I get to about the end of the book.
No, but I mean like come on, like when you're like 60 or something, be like, yeah, fuck it.
Maybe.
Would you use it to your I mean, I guess it's predestined the way the question's written. But you said you'd read a couple years ahead.
Yeah.
So
My thought process is that at least I'll have some semblance of an idea of what's going to happen. And I can at least somewhat mentally prepare for it, even if I can't physically prepare.
fair enough. I still think Viking has a point with the idea it would take the luster out of it, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but to counter that point, though, if it read ahead and it said so and so was going to pass away,
Exactly.
Yeah, but then I know exactly how much time I have left to spend with them and exactly what I'm going to do with them for every one of those moments.
even if it was your hubby, would you not try and stop that?
You already said that we can't.
I know. Well, we know in the context of the philosophical argument you can't. But they're a loved one. You're telling me you wouldn't try?
No, I would just be upset because I know that there's nothing I can do.
I mean, if I read through it, which I wouldn't, I would just read the end, but we'll get to me a bit later. If I read through it and I saw, like, because I'm so on the line with being a fatalist and anti-fatalist that I could not resist trying to change fate. Like, if I knew someone I loved dearly was going to die, I would do everything I could to Final Destination this shit and make sure they don't die and see what happens.
At the same time, though, just hypothetically, what if your book said that you only live to like 40?
So, what I resolved to answer this question is I said I would just read the end. The reason why I would just read the end is all I'd want to know is I'd read backwards, first of all. Once I realized it's a book about my life, so I'd flip right over to the backwards and start flipping the backwards. And I'd read backwards. Start from you died. And I would read backwards. Find out the time, the date, the location, and how. And hopefully the year. Once I find out those 5 things, close the book. The way I see it is if I don't read any of that book, then fuck you. I don't know what's going to happen. Everything is still in the air. All I know is my exact time of death, my exact location of death, and how I'm going to die. So I am going to throw myself with reckless abandon into everything I do. I have a podcast right now. I'm going to literally quit my job, throw everything into the podcast. I also starting a film company. Fuck it. I'll take out loans. I don't care. Like, I will dedicate myself to doing what I can because I now know how much time I have left. So I'm going to throw whatever I can into the things I love and fuck working. If I'm going to work, it's going to be pursuing the things I love because at that point I know what my end is. So there's nothing I can do to stop that. Fine. I'll take that challenge.
But what if the things in the book can be changed and by quitting your job, you're changing when and where and how you're going to die?
I'm taking into the, I mean, obviously I don't know, but I'm taking into the, just the parameters, the original parameters, right? Of like, that this is like, this is your life. Like, no matter, like, this is what will happen. Right? So if that was the case, that would basically be my mentality. Now, if it changes, then so what? Like, all I'm doing is I'm not being stupid. Like, I'm not going and doing illegal things and stealing shit. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about, like, the best way to put it is all the patience I would have for waiting or for thinking, for taking time would be out the window. Why wait? What am I waiting for? Let's do it now. I want to be a filmmaker. Fuck, I'll sell whatever, my magic cards, I'll get a bunch of money and we'll do it now. Make it. Let's see what happens. Like, because like that's how I would take it. Is I would take the ultimate Schrodinger's cat approach. Is once I realized what it was, is I would just look at the end and I would leave the middle as an enigma to me. I would even go so far as to burn the book just so I do not read it. Because all I would want to know is the end. That's it. Just because I love surprises. I'm the exact opposite of you. However, I have this unbelievable urge to know the end. Just like I'm sure any human would when they get something like this. So I would gladly flip to the end and read it. But after that point, no, I'd burn the book. Burn the book and then be like, fuck it, sweet. So this is how much time I have left. Let's make the most of it. Like, I even went so far as to say, like, my dream at that point, if this was my life, would be the last year of my life before the set time I'm supposed to die, would be me relaxing and just looking back at my accomplishments and being like, even if they were a bunch of failed ventures, just being like, I did it. There's nothing else I want to do. I spent all the money I had to do everything I could. I'm gonna spend this year just relaxing until until someone fucking kills me. You know what I mean? That's how I looked at it.
Did you just say until someone kills you?
Or like I was gonna say someone or something fucking kills me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Until the end fucking comes. I was thinking the Grim Reaper, but it just didn't fully come out. But yeah,
okay.
That's at the same time though. What if you found out you only have a week?
Yeah, there's also that.
Then I would definitely Final Destination that bullshit. then my whole idea would change. If it was only like a week or a year, oh fuck no. Then I am taking notes in that book. I am actually reading the whole thing, and I am Final Destination. I am eluding my fate because fuck you. I am the master.
By reading it, you realize you've set the actions in motion that push you to only having a week.
I've seen this horror film. I've seen this horror film. I know the loopholes. I'll find a way.
What if by knowing the loopholes you lose the loopholes?
Yeah.
The trick is to contact someone who's smarter than I, who knows quantum physics, and tell them and convince them that I'm in this problem. And thank God my cousin is one, so I'll have a bit of an easier time and help get him to untangle my goddamn fatalist or my fate from this quantum entanglement. Because it's the only way I can understand. Through it
and you realize that learning about quantum physics is what kills you.
Then I'd be fucked. Then I'd just be fucked. Then I didn't study it enough. Because if I would study the book and then do the exact opposite of what the book says. And if I didn't, then I'm really stupid.
What if by doing the exact opposite, you're really doing it?
He makes an excellent point.
That's the idea, though, right? Like, if there'd be, is it? But then they would ask me more questions. Then I might even use it to become Jesus. See, the book tells you what my future is, people. I am the prophet.
That should be entertaining.
A real life Maurice. That could only go well.
Oh, it would go horrible for the world. Don't you worry. I only had a year to live, and this book was dictating my life. Oh no, that would be fun. I would get a cult, have a whole following.
That's assuming that people follow you.
My death would make me. See, that's the thing. There's enough stupid people in the world that people would. And then once I die, as according to the book, even without me like doing everything I can to stop it, and I'll even have cameras and everything, they'll be like, see, it was foretold. And then all of a sudden, I become a martyr.
And then what happens if by starting a cult, you don't die? And then your whole religion is based off of, the book tells. And then you don't die on the last day.
Then I will honestly, like go in front of everyone and be like, sweet, I fucking lived. All right, well, that's done. Everyone can go home now. Go on, Oprah. What was the point of the cult? Honestly, to change my fate, and it happened. So, I'm happy.
Or even better, what if you misread and it's actually the next day?
Well, then I still become a pariah.
The next day you get hit by a truck.
I still become a pariah. Well, it would be in the book that I get hit by a truck.
You still become a pariah? Why do you want to be a pariah?
Well, I would have been a pariah at that point because I have a cult. Like if you start a cult and you say this is how you're gonna die, and like you do everything you can to not, and then that's still how you die, you're a pariah. And how your cult, like it's just the way things work.
What if you want to be a piranha though?
Yeah, that's
a whole different fish.
Oh, it hurts. I laughed at that, but at the same time, that was so good. How long have you guys been setting that one up?
3.5 years.
Not at all.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt
Good.
to laugh at.
Maybe that's what'll kill you. I just have to keep trying until I find the right one.
Puns will never kill me. They are my blood. They keep me alive.
That's what you think.
I thought that was caffeine.
Puns and caffeine. Yeah.
Well, now we've explored what we want to know about the future.
Oh. So, yeah, we learned that you both do and do not want to know what your future is.
We learned that I would actually lose my mind.
Well.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's funny we all have... It's interesting we all have different answers, too. But we'd all read the book.
You're different people.
but none of us wouldn't read the book.
I mean, I might not.
On the other hand, I might just roll a die and see.
That seems about right for you.
That's how I decide what I'm going to read next on my shelf.
But you're already
Okay,
reading it,
try
so
that.
you've already rolled your
Yeah.
dice and you're already reading it.
Yeah.
So you're
So once I
rolling your
realize,
dice.
I will roll again.
I would love if you rolled a d20, it rolled nat 20. You're like, I'll just do another reroll to be sure. Another nat 20. No.
And then the book says that I've rolled 50 nat 20s
In a row, and you're just like, oh. That's when you go, you read the book, and you're just like, wait a second. Stop reading, like, I'm going to go to the casino now. And you stand up and start walking to the casino and open the book and be like, I'm going to play the slot machines.
No, Uno, all the way.
Do they have Uno in casinos?
You don't know.
Depends.
I've never seen one in Canada. I've been in a few.
You've never seen a casino in Canada?
Never seen Uno in a casino.
You've played Uno in a casino.
You haven't?
Never.
Yes, you have. It was just imaginary. Remember all of the Uno tournaments?
In the imaginary casino.
Yeah.
Just imagine putting 20k down and getting hit with a draw 4.
Oof. That would suck. Do you actually not know what I'm talking about right now?
I do. I just totally forgot because I was.
You were so angry about it for some reason.
Yeah,
Well-
you were. It was weird.
Oh, because that's my character.
No, because you were just No, you were angry about Uno existing. Like in general.
Oh,
The
because
fact
I
that it
hate that
existed.
game.
Yeah, see?
It's a horrible game.
It's a great game. You had never played it at the time when you were angry about it.
There's so many more games that are just better.
I feel the important question is, would it be like home rules where you can stack or no stacking?
Oh, absolutely stacking. It's ridiculous to play without.
And then you can also jump in. Like, say you have a match.
I don't think I've ever played with that.
Like, for example, if someone plays a red 2 and you have a red 2, you can jump in.
Oh, no, I don't like that. That's weird.
That's just fun.
That just sounds chaotic. Which is
Exactly.
probably why you like it.
And just imagine how much or how high the stakes would be then.
So,
Well, why are we...
if it's called Uno, why is there no Spanish in the game?
There is.
There is. There's literally one important word, and it's Uno.
Yeah.
There's
Do-
no
do you
other
not
Spanish.
read the cards?
That depends. Do you want to play it in Spanish?
I mean,
But-
there's Dos. Does Dos work?
But there isn't Dos. It's 2.
Yeah, there is.
There is. It's another game.
Dos is a card game.
Dos is a card game. I know of
Yes.
Pit. You ever play Pit? That's a great game.
Yes, I have. Ah, not my favorite.
I've played Rummy. Rummy's a good game.
Are we just gonna list the card games we've played?
No, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I'm so lost.
He's talking about Uno.
And Dos.
And Tres.
No, just Dos.
No, Dos is.
Dos is the name of a second card game.
Have either of you actually ever been to a casino?
Yes,
I was
Yes.
gonna say, I think you both have. Which ones?
a couple different ones. A couple in Vegas, a couple here.
Oh, we went to
Yeah.
one in Vegas. I haven't been to Vegas.
I went to a couple in Vegas.
That'd be fun.
And then also Vancouver.
I do not go to casinos to win money. I always lose money there.
I went to a casino for your birthday, and I've also been to Vegas, and you can't... You physically can't really go to Vegas without going to a casino. It's just not possible.
I've just never been to Vegas. in
Yeah.
general. I didn't know you went. Oh wait, yes, I did know you went to Vegas. That's
Oh,
right.
you might not have actually. It was a few years ago.
I've heard a
I
lot
did
of nice
send Ghost in
things.
the group chat or in the talk show chat.
I've heard a lot of people tell me nice things about Vegas.
It was pretty. I liked it. We also went to the Grand Canyon. That was fun.
I
Grand Canyon is nice. Hoover Dam's really nice too.
We saw it on the way.
Unfortunately, I will probably never get a chance to go to the States, but everywhere else would be fine.
Fair enough.
I can go anywhere else in the world. Just gotta skip the giant black hole that is the States.
Fair enough.
The world is C4.
The world is C4.
Where in the world is C4?
Ooh. Asking the important questions now.
That was like one of those cartoon shows you'd watch as a kid, but you'd only ever catch like 1 or 2 episodes, even though it was such a good show, because the time slots would always change. But like, and now it's really hard to find the fucking episodes online because you always want to watch.
They
Where
made
the
a
World
brand
Is.
new one on Netflix.
It's so bad.
There's a
It is.
I
show?
want to watch the original Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
I thought it was just a game.
No, it was a show too.
There's the book too.
I didn't know that. Huh.
You know what was really good though?
Samurai Pizza Cats.
5 or 6.
Cyber 6, yeah. Oh, I own that. I own the entire only season of that show. That's French Canadian too.
It is.
I love
Nice.
that.
It would only play in the winter.
It only played in the winter and it would only play at midnight.
Yeah.
I loved Cyber 6. If anyone out there doesn't like anime, like, it's not anime, it's really fucking good. Oh, I miss Cyber 6. Really good story. There was a lot
Originally,
of,
it was an Argentinian comic book series.
yeah, there was actually a lot of really good stuff that was shown on kids' television late at night. I used to have insomnia, so I used to watch a lot of it. Like
Yeah.
John Callahan's Quads. That would never actually be on regular television. All right. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
Never.
Okay. I kid you not when I talk about this show. The show is about a quadriplegic guy. Gets hit by a car. He sues the guy who hits him. Gets millions of dollars. And his friends, he doesn't have any, so he meets them in rehab. So he has a friend with 2 hooks for hands. Another friend who only has a head. Another friend who pretends to be have a disability, but he's just a drunk. And it is the most offensive show ever. And it is a Canadian show called John Callahan's Quads.
And it had 2 seasons apparently.
It did have 2 seasons.
Incredibly bizarre.
It is.
From 2001 to 2002.
It was a messed up show. But what makes that show good is there's another show that ran even less that was amazing. That was made by all the same people called Captain Star. And if you ever want to see like absolute dichotomy of shows made by the exact same people, you watch Captain Star and then this show. And Captain Star is, think of Gilligan's Island for all our older friends out there, or basically Survivor kind of idea for our younger viewers, except in space. And the whole thing about Captain Star is it was actually a really deep, thought-provoking show. As he tries to, lead his people off this planet. But those were the good times. Back when animation actually, like, late at night could just be used to fill some random fucking shit.
What did I even watch as a kid?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
The Boomafoo.
Zaboomafoo.
And Roly Poly Oly.
You're
I
right.
remember Roly Poly.
My God.
Roly Poly Oly.
I know exactly what you guys are talking about because you're all my sister's age. And Blue's
Yep.
Clues. She
Which
loved,
one, though?
She loved that Blue's Clues.
I never
Which
watched
Blue's
Blue's
Clues,
Clues.
though?
You know what I
Joe,
loved?
Steve, or Trevor?
You know what me and my older sister loved as really young kids? Fucking big comfy
Rocks.
couch.
What?
Big comfy couch.
I remember that show. I actually went to one of the. There's a picture of me at one of the like live events for that.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's kind of fucking cool.
Oh, that's cool. I wasn't really allowed to watch TV as a kid,
that's
so
Lunetta and Molly.
That's actually fucking cool. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Tell us you're sheltered in so many words.
yeah.
What's the TV show?
Yeah. I mean, I know what a TV show is. I just wasn't really allowed to watch it. What?
I just love that response to him. I know what a TV show is.
I do.
I'm more than sure you do. I could not imagine if all of a sudden today you're like, wait, is that what a TV show is?
Right?
I thought they were just all made for TV movies.
We did watch a lot of those.
Oh God! Remember, we should end on this. Remember, you guys ever? I mean, you must have those really corny, not even B, but like C level movies that go right to VHS. That either they show in the classroom, or they have at your local church or synagogue in like the bucket loads. Because they're non-denominational, like just good moral videos.
Actually,
Yes.
a kid reminded me of one of them a while ago. It was called Salty the Singing Songbook. And I looked it up because I haven't thought of it in so long, and it is just horrifying. How was I not horrified by that thing as a child?
The best ones I loved that I can never find because I can't think of the goddamn name of them, but they were narrated by Casey Kasem, and they were reenactments of Shakespeare plays, and they were put to VHS. And there was those ones. And obviously VeggieTales. VeggieTales was like a breath of fresh air, even though it was
actually pretty good.
Even though it was Christian, like as a Jew, like thank God for VeggieTales as a kid. Like, oh my, if they did Old Testament stuff, and thank the Lord, and like because some of the other stuff.
A year and a half ago or so, I rewatched a bunch of them, and especially some of the early ones, and I really there's a lot of controversy over VeggieTales among Christians because the stories just do not resemble the stories from the Bible hardly at all. And watching them as an adult, it was like, oh, I see it now.
But as a kid, you don't.
Yeah, which is kind of the problem. But anyway, that's a whole different topic.
Let the J-Hos get mad.
It was, what was it? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, where these three young men get thrown into a fiery furnace. And in the Bible, it's a story about how God protects them and God takes care of them. But the VeggieTales version is a story about how it's important to obey your parents. Like they did not ever mention God in this show. And they changed the message that is actually really important to a completely different one.
Okay. But still had a wholesome message.
Yes. Just not... Like, they got rid of the original wholesome message to put in their own wholesome message.
Hey, Simpsons did the
It's
same.
Weird. It's weird, man.
The Simpsons were a Christian show. They were aimed
What?
at... Yes. First, 5 seasons, they were aimed at Christian households. That's why they had certain jokes. I'm not even kidding.
I have never watched The Simpsons. I just think it's stupid, so...
Fair enough. But they were. Look it up. They were aimed at Christian households.
Weird.
I was going to say, of those crap movies, though, the best one, the absolute best one that came out of those, C-level crap movies The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Oh yeah,
The
that is actually a pretty good movie.
they made like sequels to hell of it. I think there's like 4 or 5 sequels of it, and they're all just horrible. But the original one, like the original B movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy, was so well done. I loved that movie.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one is good.
I enjoyed that one.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, it starts with like the most horrible B-roll of a fucking airline pilot drinking a bottle of Coke, opening the window of a moving air jet, like just like you could do that, like freaking side window like it's your car, and tosses the bottle out the fucking side window of the plane, and it lands 36,000 feet in front of a Bushman perfectly. That's the first minute of the movie, and it just does not take itself seriously, but it tries to with the narrator. So it's really well done if you've never seen it. I highly suggest watching that movie. It's fucking hilarious. I'll always remember that scene. But
You know, it was a good show.
what?
World of Quest.
I can't say I know that one.
I don't expect you to because it's from like 2008.
Fair. You know, there's another show from like 2008 actually that I think John would find the title of quite funny. It's just called Chuck.
Oh yeah. I've never actually seen it, but I do know of the show.
It's actually really good. I watched it years ago and I've been rewatching it and it's funny.
I guess we could.
Then Dragon Tales.
Oh, Dragon
I
Tales!
forgot about Dragon
What a
Tales.
great
That was
show.
the best.
DuckTales too.
No, just Dragon Tales.
DuckTales. Woo!
My mom was really like hesitant about Dragon Tales because magic. But it was my favorite. Because magic.
I enjoyed Darkwing Duck.
A great show. Also, Duck Dodgers of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we should cut it a bit early there. Thanks
Sounds good
everyone
to
for
me.
coming out.
Except for you. You know who you are. You know what you did.
I don't know what they did. You keep doing this.
Yes, you do.
You're on a vendetta at this
You
point.
definitely know what they did.
Wait, which they?
You know what they did.
They or them?
Yes.
What's the difference?
Both are pronouns.
Exactly. What's the difference? That's a similarity.
Both of those are words. That's English.
That's also a similarity, not a difference.
I mean, if you look at the philosophical origins of each word,